I need to think about it. You've heard it before. Probably right at the moment you thought the deal was in the bag. But the truth is, that phrase isn't a real objection. It's a polite way for the prospects to get you off the phone. And if you accept that, you're leaving real revenue on the table. At Prospeo, we've analyzed 3,000 sales calls and we noticed something interesting. The difference between losing the deal and closing it often comes down to how you handle that exact moment. I'm Kevin from Prospeo, and in this video, I'll show you the exact words and frameworks we use to cut through that situation, uncover what's really going on in the prospect's head, and move the deal forward. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to turn their hesitation into confident yeses, so you can start closing more deals. Let's dive in. So why do prospects tell you, I need to think about it? You have to understand that this is a natural defense mechanism, and this usually means they're not fully 100% convinced yet, but they don't want to tell you that. So in reality, this isn't the real objection. So when prospects are telling you, I need to think about it, what they're really saying is one of these three things. First, I don't have the budget. So instead of saying, I can't afford this, they buy themselves some time with, let me think about it, or I'll get back to you. They hope that you'll go away and they won't have to face that uncomfortable conversation around their finances. Or secondly, what they're saying is, I don't see the value. So you've presented your offer, but the connection between your solution and their problem isn't clear enough, or the need for your solution doesn't make sense in their mind. So what ends up happening is they delay making the decision, hoping either the problem will magically fix itself or a better option will appear. Or lastly, they could be saying, I don't see the urgency to take action right now. You haven't created enough convincing reasons for them to act immediately. So in their mind, if this problem has existed for months or even years, what's just another few days or weeks of putting this off going to do? Probably nothing. The reality is, prospects just don't sit down after your call with a list of pros and cons, and then they're weighing their decisions for 3 weeks until they call you back. What actually happens is within hours after your call, they're going to get caught up in their daily routine, putting out fires, and they're never going to think about your solution ever again. The real objection is hidden behind their polite deflection. They're using those 6 words as a way to politely get you off the phone. So your goal is to uncover the real objection and address it while you still have them on the phone. So this objection can show up at different stages of your sales cycle, usually either in a cold call or a scheduled sales meeting. In a cold call, you're dealing with an interruption. You've caught them off guard and they weren't expecting your call. So if they say, I need to think about it, that's more of a polite way to say, I need to get off this phone call and I want to get back to what I'm doing. In a scheduled sales meeting, it's different because they've already agreed to the conversation, they've invested time, and when they say, I need to think about it, they're usually faced with a real decision which they don't necessarily want to make yet. So the stakes are higher and they genuinely want to process everything you presented. So depending on the situation where you hear this objection, it requires a completely different approach. So in cold calls, this requires a softer touch because you're already fighting the interruption factor. So here's a 3-step framework we would use to overcome when a prospect says, I need to think about it on a cold call. Step 1 is to acknowledge the objection. The biggest mistake reps make is immediately attacking the objection. Like, what do you need to think about? You can't just ask them that right off the bat because it's going to trigger their defensive state. And they're going to give shallow answers like, oh, that's just how I do things. Instead, agree with them completely. You know what, John? That's totally fine. I know I caught you off guard here, and I completely respect you wanting to think this through. Step 2 is to incentivize them to talk. So you'll say things like, just so I don't call you at the wrong time and bother you, what's your time frame for getting back to me in the next few days? Step 3 is to maneuver the conversation. After they give you a time frame, this is what you're going to ask. Yeah, no worries. Out of what we discussed today, I'm curious, what are some of the things you wanted to go over in your mind, just so I can go and get some additional information ready for you by the time we speak again? And your tone is crucial here. You're not interrogating them. You're genuinely trying to be helpful by being curious. This is where their guard has already dropped and they're going to feel less sales pressure. And because you've already framed this as you're helping them prepare for the next conversation, they'll often reveal the real objection. They'll start saying things like, oh, well, it's actually the budget's pretty tight right now, or I really need to run this by my business partner first, or yeah, I don't know if I have the bandwidth to implement something like this right now. And while you still have them on the phone, you can dig deeper and handle their objections. If you want to learn how to apply the same framework we use to overcome cold call objections, you can click this link here and watch it after this video. Now let's go over if you hear I need to think about it in a scheduled sales call or a meeting. The best way to handle this objection is by preventing it in the first place. We use what's called the pre-frame technique. So at the beginning of your sales call, set the objective of why you're meeting. So it'll look something like this. John, I want to be respectful of your time and mine today, so by the end of our conversation, you'll hopefully have enough information to make a decision one way or another. There are only really two possible outcomes here. Either this is a great fit and we move forward, or it's not the right solution for you right now, and that's perfectly okay. I'd rather you tell me that directly. The one thing I'd ask is that we avoid the whole let me think about it and get back to you, where we play cat and mouse chasing each other down, because in my experience, that usually means no. And it's better for both of us if we're both upfront with each other. Does that sound fair? And most prospects will agree because it feels reasonable and takes the pressure off of them, because now they feel, okay, I can tell them no and everything is going to be fine. I'm not going to offend them. Now, just because you did the pre-frame doesn't mean they still won't give you this objection. In rare cases where they do, we'd like to use the direct approach. So prospect says, yeah, it sounds good and all, but I still need to think about it. I'd say, appreciate that. And in my experience, when someone says they need to think about it, what they usually mean is no, but they don't want to hurt my feelings. Is that what's happening here? Now here, you're doing a couple things. First, you're giving them permission to be honest. And secondly, you're taking the pressure off them by suggesting that it can mean no, and that's okay. You're not going to get your feelings hurt. If the prospect comes back and says, yeah, that's exactly right, I'd say, no problem, thank you for your time, and I'd move on, because clearly they're not a good fit. If they say, no, it's not that, I just really need to think about it, this is where we would circle back to the discovery and we would ask this question. Yeah, that's not a problem. Help me understand though. When you first agreed to this meeting, what was the problem you were hoping to solve? Now you let them answer. And then you ask, and is that problem still there? And if they agree that the problem is still there, you're going to reply with, so if this solution addresses that exact problem, what exactly would you need to go over just so I can see if I can help you better? Is it the investment, the timing, or something I haven't touched upon yet? Now with this approach, your tone matters a lot. You have to use more of a curious tone. Again, you're not using an interrogation tone where you're demanding answers. Instead, you're more of a helpful consultant who's genuinely trying to help. Plus, if you give them some options of what it could be, they're more likely to tell you the truth. They'll say things like, yeah, it's just a really big investment. I want to make sure this is the right decision. Or, yeah, I just really need to talk to my business partner about this. I don't know if this is going to work with our schedules. And guess what you found out? You found the real objection. So now you can go into regular objection handling to move the conversation forward. If you truly believe in your solution, and if you know it would genuinely help your prospect solve their problem, then accepting I need to think about it is doing them a disservice. When you let your prospects walk away to think about it, what you're doing is you're enabling their procrastination. You're allowing them to stay stuck with the same problem they came to you to solve. 6 months from now, they're still gonna have the same challenges. Still gonna be losing money, still not getting enough clients, or whatever brought them to you in the first place. You have a moral obligation as a sales rep to push past their polite deflection and help them make a decision. Even if the decision is a no, that's your goal as a sales rep. So you have to stop accepting surface level objections and start digging deeper for the truth. Your prospects will thank you for it, and your close rates will skyrocket as a byproduct of that. So if you got value from today's video, like this video, subscribe, and send this to a friend who needs to learn how to handle objections so they can start closing more deals. I'll see you in the next video.